Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. And now to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. Representing the three-time Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils, Arlette.
I feel like I'm at a game. Oh my gosh. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
David Decker, he is in the chat room. You better blast it loud for your significant other that hates my voice, because I want her to have a happy Devils Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast. Season 3, episode 19, titled,
there we go,
Have the Devils Hit Rock Bottom? I am your host, Stan Wu, joined by Scotty from LA. Scotty, the same
What's
Scotty
up?
of Liquid Metal.
That's right.
I forgot what the show was called. Sorry, Corridors of Rock?
It's Corridor of Covers.
Yes.
Metal Sirius XM. We did a fantastic holiday edition this week. We have Rob Halford singing some Christmas carols and some King Diamond and some Lemmy doing Run Rudolph Run. We got some good stuff. So if you're tired of lame, boring Christmas music and you want something that rocks, you can check out the Corridor cover.
Scotty, I know we're going to be doing our second annual Festivus tomorrow, but I'm gonna start off by saying, because we were having technical issues before getting this podcast up and running. But remember during our sound test, there was an issue with your mic. It's happening again.
Yes.
I don't know if you need to tighten up the XLR cables or something like that.
Oh boy.
Maybe you should do that before it's going to be a whole podcast of technical problems sounding bad.
Maybe.
Because I know Tim Clark Callahan's going to give us the stats at the end of the night. Yeah, Scotty's mic went out 84 times during the podcast. I think you need to improve on your quality control of the podcast. But yeah, do what you can right now. I'll stall by babbling.
Why don't you cut my mic for just a second, and I'll quickly do the unplug replug trick.
Oh, I'd be happy to. As Scotty is fixing his technical difficulties, this is the Let's Go Devils podcast, and we have a we're not taking a break during the holidays. There's a lot to talk about. Now, Scotty, as I'm doing some stalling right now, just give me a thumbs up that you're ready so I know when to. Oh, you're already ready. Well, that was quick. Hopefully that solved the problem
Does that solve the problem?
so far. But if it comes back, I'll let you know, because I was about to
You let me
say
know.
I have
Yep.
a grievance that you were unprepared today and you had technical issues with your mic when all you had to do was screw it in tightly.
Yeah, I'm sometimes, that's why they just call me the talent, and I don't know all this technical stuff. Plugging in, plugging out. That's too much for me. I'm a dummy.
Yeah, so tonight, Shorts Guy is on assignment. He's coaching his high school team right now. And also, Beer Baron's on assignment. I'm good. I don't know where he is, but I think I know where he is.
He's at the
family
bar.
party.
He's drunk.
He's at the family bar.
Family party. That's what they say.
Yeah,
family party.
Probably Tavern on the Rocks. It's still happening again, Scotty. I don't know what's going on. But maybe it's your computer. I don't know. But anyway, let me stall. I'll mute the mic again. Let you do what you need to do. If you need to reset, Scotty, your setup, maybe power cycle the machine, then maybe that's what we'll do. And make sure that if you are going to reboot the computer, that you have a nice, happy, still face so we can see you as I'm just talking the entire time. So do what you need to do, Scotty. But I am your host, Sam Wu. This is episode 19 of season 3, as Scotty is managing his technical difficulties. Facebook Live is already humming. But yeah, we have a big holiday week. We're not taking any time off. Tomorrow will be our Festivus for the rest of us. Second annual. We're going to use game used Martin Brodeur broken goalie stick, and that will be our poll, our Festivus poll. And then Tuesday, Christmas Eve, we're going to have the Woo Report, and on Christmas Day at 9 p.m. Eastern, State of the Fan address is going. It is the workhorse of the Let's Go Devils platform, or should I say, Let's Go Devils network, powered by Nova Product Design from Primetime Radio, and it's going to be awesome, just awesome, just Devils hockey talk. If you're bored with your family and you don't want to talk to the mother-in-law, or you don't want to talk to your cousin because that cousin's a jerk, well, you know what? Go to the other room, put on your headset, 9 p.m. Eastern, tune in to the Let's Go Devils podcast network, and we have a variety of shows that will be going on, our podcast, I should say. Scotty is having a staring contest with me right now, and let's see how long that will last. Anyway, Facebook Live, thank you for joining in. Have the Devils hit rock bottom? I'm not so sure yet. I really, really don't know. Anytime they progress, they take a couple steps back. I feel like the Devils are at square one, but the only hope I have is the St. Louis Blues story of last year, that maybe they'll just turn it around sometime in January and go on a magical run. Chances are it's probably not going to happen, but you know what? You just never know. First off, I think ownership should adopt the little puppy, because that's what St. Louis did last year, and have the players play with the puppy. Also, they should go to a bar in Philadelphia and have some DJ play. I'm thinking Top Gun music, because from the movie Top Gun, there's a new sequel coming out very soon. But also, I'm thinking you got that 80s thing. They had Gloria. Maybe they should play a Danger Zone or something like that, and that'll be the theme song, and this and that, and fans go nuts, and they change the goal song to Danger Zone or whatever. Just hope that we don't play the Winnipeg Jets when that's our theme song. Anyway, Tim Clark Callahan, Ramona Rice, David Holliday. We already mentioned David Decker. David Decker, why don't you comment if your significant other was annoyed by my voice? Because if she was, then I did my job. So have the Devils hit rock bottom yet? They're close to it, but I have a feeling this could get worse and worse and worse. Chris Ryan, I believe it was Chris Ryan, or was it in the New York Post? No, it was Chris Ryan. I think he posted. He had an article about some of the Ray Shero draft picks dating back to the Pittsburgh days, and he got it right with Nico. I'll give him that over Nolan Patrick so far. Jack Hughes, that was a no-brainer. But some of these draft picks he's had in the first round, a little suspect. And I've always harped on him on Jordan Stahl over Jonathan Toews. The only saving grace was, at least they won the Stanley Cup Finals. So, won Stanley Cup. But then again, how hard is it to win Stanley Cups when you got Sidney Crosby and Malkin down the middle in your lineup? But then again, the Devils have Nico Hischier, who's been his stock is rising with Devils fans. He signed a 7-year extension from his rookie contract, and he's going to be in New Jersey for a while. He seems like he's the one that just doesn't give up. His motor's always running, and he's leading by example. I like that out of Nico Hischier. Nico. There's a lot of trade talk, rumors about PK Subban that's now circulating. And then you cannot trade Kyle Palmieri. You got a Jersey kid that is fitting in just fine. Leader shows up, reminds me a lot like Jamie Langenbrunner back when he played. And he's a great sniper, leader, does great stuff for the community, and that would be good. Still waiting for Scotty to reappear as he's dealing with his technical issues. He actually texted me. He said he was going to ask if we should do some fan trivia tonight, to go along with our question of the day: have the Devils hit rock bottom? But as what Pete Maggio says, Palms is the future captain. And you know what? This is right now, the Devils are at that point right now where they're going to be sellers. Andy Green's name has been tossed around in the news. There's other veterans as well. What about Travis Zajac? Looks like they are looking to do, not completely blown up. They have the core there, but just get younger and get some assets back and restock Binghamton. Now, Binghamton, they need to have a good farm system. Mikey McLeod has come up. I know we harp on Beer Baron. We harp on Mikey McLeod, but really, that only just came from Beer Baron has a man crush on Mikey McLeod. But really, all that is, we're kidding around. It's a little unfair. I think this kid is gonna make some strides this season. He's got an opportunity. He's got a chance. Let's hope he does well, because again, as what we always say on the Let's Go Devils podcast, his success will be our success. And I could drink to that. Now I'm drinking some alkaline water, the expensive kind. And it's going to fuel me through this podcast as I'm going. So it almost feels like the Woo Report. Oh, by the way, thanks for all those that visited us at PJ Ryan's last Friday when Pete, the organist, and I did a little Woo Report pregame. That was fun. Pete and I were talking off air. I think our chemistry is pretty good. Yeah, we maybe do some more of that in the near future. Beam up Scotty. He's still stuck. Cheryl Miller. Cheryl, let me tell you something. I'm going to tease you a little bit. Tomorrow's Festivus, second annual Festivus podcast. I got some beef on you. I got some grievances that I need to air out. But I'm not going to air it out tonight. But I've got some grievances. Don't worry, Cheryl. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun show. No disrespect. But I got some grievances that I'm going to point out. Am I going to tell you now? No. Tune in tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, Solo YOLO, says David Decker. Man Crush. What? Yeah, Cheryl, it's all good. We're all friends. Doesn't mean, even dysfunctional families, they all have grievances amongst each other. Every family's got it. We're a big family. Don't worry about it. I still love you. Don't worry about it. But I got some grievances. Yeah. Devils lose 2 straight. Not happy with the loss against the Washington Capitals. Was thinking, okay, one of the best teams in the league. Let's play the BJs of Columbus, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Yeah, that was just a formality. They just got their asses whooped. Second half of the back-to-back. Jill Sen made his debut. But yeah, again, they got to keep fighting. They got to keep fighting. They got to get that eye of the tiger, is what Apollo Creed would say in Rocky 3. They don't have that killer instinct. They got to learn how to gut it out. Gut it out. I mean, in that game on Saturday, I think the only player that really showed up, in my opinion, it was Nico Hischier. And it seems like that's a recurring theme. Nico Hischier. Now, Palmieri, he's up there as well, but it just seems like Nico's been standing out. Also, again, I can't wait for tomorrow because I got a lot of grievances, a lot of things to point out. I got beef with a lot of people. I got beef with Scotty right now because he's not back on air, right? I'd like to hear your grievances tomorrow, not tonight, but tomorrow. It's going to be a lot of stuff. But you know what? One thing I did do recently was I fixed the board because now I can play sounds again. Yeah, I can play sounds again. So this is great. I just fixed it last night, and you're going to hear a lot of this. You're going to hear a lot of this tomorrow night.
Hey, where's the beef?
Because I got a lot of beef. I'm an angry Devils fan. I think a lot of us are angry at ownership. I'm going to air out my grievances against ownership tomorrow. I'm going to air my grievances to Erica Wachter. I got some beef. Even though everybody loves Erica, I got some beef. I got beef against Amanda Stein. She does a great job reporting, but you know what? It's time to air the grievances. No more than Mr. Nice Guy tomorrow. I want to hear your grievances tomorrow. But yeah, let's get back to the topic at hand. We get a little sidetracked as we're waiting for Scotty to come back as I am going solo like the Woo Report. So I'm afraid that this rebuild could take a little bit longer than expected. Okay, if the Devils are sellers, they're selling all their assets. Okay, you got these draft picks, but they're not going to have an immediate impact. What does Ray Shero do in the interim? What does he do in the interim? Let me ask you, Facebook Live. Like, what is Ray Shero going to do in the interim to make this team better? Because right now we're in year 5. This was supposed to be our year. It's been a complete debacle, minus another St. Louis Blues comeback like thing. What do Devils fans do? I mean, we're still going to go to games, but what does that solve? You can't send a message to management and ownership groups if we're still going to games. What do they care? They're making their money. But really, they need to start winning. They need to start winning. And I still like what Nasruddin is doing. I think he has identified the problems. I just wonder if he can get enough out of these guys to start winning. Or, you know what? Should we be cheering for another tank? You know what? I think I don't want to be tanking anymore. Tired of it. It's great that the first couple times, since as Devils fans, we're not really used to having first overall picks. I hadn't had it never till Nico. But yeah, so all right. I think Omar Boss says I'm trust less Shiro now. Yeah, in Shiro we don't trust. Also, let's see, Tim Clark Callahan, tank. Sometimes I wonder, Tim Clark Callahan, if you really exist. Because for whatever reason, sometimes I wonder if you're Ray Shiro's burner account. You know how like GMs have burner accounts, like the Philadelphia 76ers, Brian Colangelo, and see what happened to him. I'm just wondering if you're Ray Shiro's burner account. Are you real Tim Clark Callahan? How'd you get that name, Tim Clark Callahan? I don't know. Passport drafting has killed this team. Christopher Jacobus. Screw the tanking. This team needs to learn how to win now. I agree with you, Carl Wagner. I agree with you, and I'll tell you the reason why I agree with you. We've said, and even Bryce Salvador concurred, that their mindset and their attitude, and their confidence has been all affected with all this losing. And Bryce thinks that it all started with what happened on opening night, having a 4-0 lead and then having to lose it, and then to come back to play the next game and lose badly against the Buffalo Sabres in game 2. And it just compounded and snowballed to the fact that not till October 17th, the Devils got their first victory, but at least that was against the New York Rangers. But since then, they just can't put a string of games, a winning streak together. The season high is 2-game winning streak. Cheryl Miller, right? Sam has beef with your existence, and she was replying to Tim Clark Callahan. Look, I love everybody, but tomorrow's podcast, the Festivus, second annual Festivus podcast, that will be epic. Because people like the woo rant, but really, I'm going to be really ranting tomorrow, and I will be in the basement of the Bunker Studio somewhere in New Jersey, undisclosed location. I don't tell people where I do that because you know why? Because in case there is an invasion of sorts and this and that, the Let's Go Devils podcast will still be up and running no matter what. So it's just a matter of Devils fan national security. Anyway, a terrible leadership. Green and Zajac have been part of losing culture for many years now. They forget the win, so they can't lead, says Andrew Gilbert. I still think it goes beyond that. I think it starts from the top. And you know what would be nice with ownership group, talk about rock bottom? I like to hear not so much a press release from Joshua Harris and David Blitzer. Wouldn't it be great if they had a town hall of Joshua Harris, David Blitzer, the new president, Jake Reynolds, and maybe we should even bother Hugh Weber to come downstairs and have a panel with season ticket holders, the media, so we can ask questions. Kind of, they did this thing with Scott O'Neill a couple of years ago. I don't know if they still do it. The State of the Team address. That would be cool because I have some questions on what the game plan is. Ray, I would love to have Ray Shearer there and just be more transparent. Like I would love the ownership group to actually shake hands with the fans instead of having to pay $5,000 to that sweep the deck gala for charity. Yeah, I know it's for charity, but you know what? I like to talk to Joshua Harris. and David Blitzerns and give them ideas, constructive ideas on how to improve what we think that will improve not so much the fan experience, but what this team needs. I mean, we've said all along, and a lot of people, um, a lot of people have said that PK Subban, including myself, PK Subban should be making tacos with Erica Wachter. He needs to concentrate. And a lot has been said in the media, New York Post specifically, about PK Subban is doing a better job marketing himself than actually, his product on the ice, that he should really concentrate on that. And you know what? I think there's a lot of truth to that. I like to see more out of Blake Coleman. I think he's had an okay season. He had some flashes of brilliance. But you know what? I consider Blake Coleman one of those heart and soul players of the team, and I want to see him progress. He has a fabulous life right now. He's got married, have a kid on the way. He's a leader on the team in every game he plays. He's a fan favorite. He likes the pickle juice, this and that. But I would like to see more out of Blake because I think there's more to come with Blake Coleman and his potential as a New Jersey Devils. I also like Kyle Palmieri as a leader. I love that whole military ball. I love the fact that he's a Jersey kid. I love the fact that he plays on the first line. And I love the fact that he can be a sniper. The only knock on Kyle Palmieri, sometimes he's a little streaky, but one thing is consistent, he's always trying. That is how we get things going with the core nucleus. But on defense, it's a little suspect. Now, look, there's some young prospects, Ty Smith, Kevin Ball, some size. It's quite apparent. Ray Sherrill-like size. That would be great, but you know what? Hopefully that size translates into a lot of block shots, a lot of, getting that big presence back there. Scotty, I see you texting in. I can't really text back right now, but no, calling in is not an option right now. So I know your machine is doing something right now and it's not rebooting right. So, but don't worry about it. I can go solo because I think I've done good so far. Going solo. It's almost 9:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. I know everybody's going to be, doing stuff for the holidays. Also, happy Hanukkah to those that celebrate. I think it starts tomorrow. I'm not sure. But yeah, you know what? Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. And if I forgot your holiday, I'm sorry. Or happy Festivus too. Don't take offense to it. It's just, I just simply don't know. And if you want, you can educate me. Sam at letsgodevils.com. That's my email address. So Carl Wagner says these owners don't care about the fans. They really don't. My ticket rep is god awful. He actually gave my seats away this year without even talking to me. They're so dysfunctional. Yada yada. Carl, save that for tomorrow for the grievances. That's the one day of the year, and we'll try to keep it positive because I'm not about the one thing I hate is when Devils fans attack other Devils fans, and I'm guilty of it. Sometimes I do it in the past. I try to be mindful of that, the bigger picture, the vision, because here at the Let's Go Devils podcast, our mission statement is we promote what's right about being a Devils fan. And one of the things that you don't promote is bashing other Devils fans. I know that there are groups out there all over the place, whether it's message boards, Facebook groups, even on Twitter. Some of the comments can be rough, but you know what? As what we always say here, keep the hits clean. We always love constructive criticisms. Carl says, "Okay, sorry, no, Carl, it's all right. It's all right. I have no grievances, but it's just trying to be a friendly reminder to all those that we want to save it for tomorrow." But I wasn't expecting to go solo today. as Scotty is working on his technical issues, as his at least his mugshot looks pretty good. He's got number 30 in the background. He's got a Devils hockey stick. He's in LA, and he's a damn good Sirius XM radio host on Liquid Metal. He's got his own gig there. I believe it's 5 days a week. I don't know the schedule, but sometimes when I'm here, Scotty, I was like, I know that guy. All right, so as we're waiting for Scotty, and we are doing this. I like that comment. David Decker writes, I love the New Jersey Devils beef cast. Nice. You know what we should do? We should have a beef cast with Chico Resch, because he likes to eat. I like to eat. We need to get him in a restaurant right now and eating some beef.
Hey, where's the beef?
Yep, where's the beef? And you know what? We should do that, and we'll be on it, because 2020 is going to be a great year for the Let's Go Devils podcast. We are nearing 50,000 downloads. 50,000 downloads and nearly 300,000 views since October 15th of 2017, when we first aired season 1, episode 1. If you dig back and watch that, it's hilarious how bad we were back then, and we still haven't changed. Ha 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 ha. Scotty is doing awesome, says David Decker. I know the mugshot does it all. I mean, heck, I could just talk all night long, and I just see Scotty just like that, still frame. Hey, I could do the same thing. I could have a staring contest with him, just like that. Anyway, so Devils play Chicago on tomorrow, before the NHL takes their hiatus. Now we're not going to take our hiatus. Nick Filano we said, you know what, we're going to keep the pedal to the metal. We're going to be on the gas pedal the entire time, and maybe a little bit abbreviated. I mean, it's the holidays, but you know what? We're giving you an option of listening to some Devils hockey talk. When mother-in-law wants to talk to you, be like, no, I got to take a call. But really, you're going to be in the bathroom listening to us or watching us. And we'll be streaming live to your location. Scotty says, his machine's not restarting. Wow. Well, I think it's just you and me, folks. You and me, and we're going to get to it. So, Scotty, I'm going to hold the fort. Keep trying. This is what I would tell the New Jersey Devils, but I'll also tell you, keep trying. Do not give up. Put in a good fight. Eventually, the effort will come through. I'll hold the fort for now, and I'll go solo if I have to for episode 19. Anyway, so they play Chicago Blackhawks right before the break. And they go on a hiatus till the 27th of December, I believe. And, that game, they got to win. They got to feel good when they come home. If they come home with go into break with a 3-game losing streak after winning 2, it looks bleak. It definitely looks bleak. We need an Ice Guardian for Hughes. By the way, great documentary. Check it out. Tim Clark Hallahan, send me an email, sam@letsgodels.com. Tell me what you're talking about, because I'm not sure what you are talking about, what documentary. David Holly, right? Here's a real question, boys. Goose and Hughes are open in my fantasy league. Which would you pick up for this week, David Holiday? Well, if I were you, David Holiday, let's look at the schedule for this week. They're playing Chicago. They're also, let me pull it up. What I do is I go to the Devils app, the NHL app. It's easy peasy and a little cheesy, but it works. So I got the schedule right in front of me. So they're at Chicago, 8:30 p.m. Eastern start. We're going to go at 9 p.m. Screw it. It's Festivus. We got to do it. The 27th, play Toronto at home at the Rock, 7 p.m. Eastern start. I will be there at PJ Ryan's to do the pregame. And Sunday, December 29th at Ottawa, up in Canada, 5 p.m. Eastern start. So those three teams, I would go with Goose. And it's not a knock on Jack Hughes, but I think Chicago down the middle and Toronto down the middle. They've got some great centermen. Not saying that Hughes can't do much, but I think if the Goose is loose, I think he can, score a couple goals in there. So that's my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. And also, in a disclaimer, don't blame me if your team sucks this week, David Holiday. Let's see. He's with the Wayne train. It's why he can't get an assist. Well, there's some truth to that. Alrighty, so I'm not so sure that Scotty is going to come back, but hey, he's got a good mugshot that fills up the space on Facebook Live, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitter, Periscope, and Twitch. We've gotten there as well. So the Devils may have not hit rock bottom. I mean, it can't really get any worse, but I mean, if you're the worst team in the league and then you're in the lottery, it's not good. But here's something good. At least Ray Shero hasn't traded that draft pick. Oh, can you imagine if he traded it? Can you imagine if he traded it, got something good, but we still suck? Now that would be good. That's like Ottawa Senators probably have it worse than we did last year because they traded away that pick. Unfortunately for Colorado, it wasn't a top the first overall, which they were hoping for. But you know what? They got a good pick out of it, and I don't think a lot of hockey fans wouldn't mind having that pick that they selected in Byram last draft. Hughes is too small right now. Ramona Rice. Look, yeah, I mean, he's 18 years old. I mean, when Nico Hischier came in the league, yeah, he did pretty well. But look at him progress. He looks like a mean machine out there. Mean Swiss machine out there. And he's looking pretty good right now. But yeah, so we're going to talk about a lot of grievances tomorrow for the Festivus podcast. But I will say, though, we're going to keep it positive. It's going to be fun. All right. Getting back to keeping the hits clean. It's going to be fun. You guys can chime in, keep it within reason. But this is a good time to air your grievances because honestly, a lot of us are holding back on how we truly feel sometimes. And you know what? Sometimes you got to let it out. And I think it'd be great. I think the second annual, it's now starting. Once we do it tomorrow, it's going to be, quote unquote, a tradition. So, yeah. Beefcast. That's what David Decker says. Beefcast. Hey, you know what? That could be another podcast on the Let's Go Devils Podcast Network. Beefcast. Sponsored by Meats, some meat company. That'd be cool. So, well, I wasn't expecting to go solo today, but it happens. I mean, I could go to just me and the screen. It's just, you know what? I was lazy today. But you know what? If Shorts Guy, I didn't set up the phone system today. Otherwise, we'd have Scotty and I would be talking. But you know what? I always like looking at this graphic of Shorts Guy and Erica Wachter. If Shorts Guy was phoning in right now, he's coaching. He's on the bench right now. He won't be a coach. But that's Erica Wachter there. Love Erica. Does a great job. Love the MSG crew. Bryce, Steve, Dano. I think they do a great job over there. But they're not immune to tomorrow's Festivus podcast. Lots of complaints, but you see, that's the other thing too with having a Festivus podcast. I feel like a typical Devils fan. Oh, is that Scotty? He's back. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna. You're on right now, Scotty.
All right.
Where'd you go?
I went into somewhere world where I could not get my laptop to restart there. That was quite an amazing experience we had going on. Yeah. I was sending you text updates, but I heard you doing an excellent job on the podcast as I was listening along.
Oh,
for most parts.
Do you think I should send a resume and use this demo to SiriusXM Liquid Metal and see if
I think you should. I think you should.
Yeah. How about this?
100%.
How about this as an intro?
Mm-hmm.
You got to get that deep voice on SiriusXM, so it's going to be like this. Hi, this is Sam Wu. Next up, Slayer here on Liquid Metal XL. Is that good?
Oh, I think we can work with something there. I think we can work with something.
That's wonderful. I'll send you the demo now.
All right, excellent.
All right, so the topic at hand, and if you don't remember, I'm going to put it up here. Have the Devils hit rock bottom, Scotty?
Yes.
I had
like
some
my
thoughts
laptop
about it. Yeah, your laptop hit rock bottom.
It did.
So, do you think the worst is over, or are we going to go into another level of just slide? Just because based on, they're on a 2-game losing streak. If they lose tomorrow, 3 games going into the Christmas hiatus that the NHL traditionally goes through, could it get any worse than this?
Oh, I'm sure it could always get worse than this, But I will say this. Well, first off, I want to say, because I heard you say this as well, and I just want to wish everyone out there, whatever it is that you do happen to celebrate, a very happy holiday season with all your family and friends and favorite New Jersey Devils hockey fans. And, with our family here at the Let's Go Devils podcast, I just want to say happy holidays to everybody. And also, I don't know how everyone else was feeling exactly, but I was actually really excited once again to watch some Devils hockey after the trade went through. I got to say, I thought the boys played really well in the Washington game. I mean, they got overrun in the third period there. Washington is just a really good team. But for those first 2 periods, they played really good. They played with a lot of fight. I really, last week when we were on here, I don't think I was but I was a tad critical of Nico Hischier, saying as a number 1 overall pick, I expect just a little more from him. And this week, it really seemed like he stepped up his game, especially in that Washington game. Couple assists, couple goals, just in front of the net, being more of a presence, it almost felt like, for a little while there, he was a bit invisible, it's just like, where's Nico? What line's he playing on? What's going on here? This past week, since the trade, he's definitely had a more, I just felt presence of him out there on the ice, doing things, making things happen, making people around him better. I've been happy. Well, I wasn't happy with the last game. I don't know what's going on with Nasreddine. Don't start with this, what Hines was doing there, shuffling the lines every 5 seconds and pulling players in and out with putting Hayden back in and benching McLeod and Jesper Boquist. When I turned on the game, I was just like, why is this? Why are these lineups happening again? I thought it was really good in the Washington game. I thought they showed a lot of grit, a lot of fight. Miles Wood getting into it. Severson the game before, actually this is the first time in a while where I felt like Severson's really been on point. I feel like I'm always catching him on the replays, kind of trail it in late or something like that. But it really almost seems like Damon Severson has stepped up a little bit in the leadership role as well. And I think you were touching on possible trade, propositions that were going on. And I know, PK Subban's name has come up in the rumors. And I also know I've seen don't know how true they are, but, I've seen Kyle Palmieri's name come up. And I will just say that just saddened me to really see that because, I understand that Kyle's getting a little bit older and we're obviously not at the point where we thought we were going to be, but I really feel, man, he just seems like that kind of like next captain material that we've always talked about. And he just has that grit and that determination, leads on the ice, seems like a good dude in the locker room, and a perfect example for people like Nico and Jack Hughes and even Damon Severson. I don't realize that Damon Severson's been on the team for I think this is his 6th season already. 6th or 7th season that he's been on the team. So, I was excited. The Columbus game was pretty terrible. I'm not gonna lie. After the first period, it was just down the drain, and kind of saw that coming. But the Washington game, I was thoroughly entertained into that third period there, where they just they got overwhelmed by the Caps. But Mackenzie Blackwood made some really nice saves. He's been looking really strong. I like what I'm seeing from him, like development wise. So I'm kind of excited because I want to see all these players come up that we've been hearing about for all these years, like the Mikey McLeods, like the Bastians. There are a couple other of I can't remember that one guy's name. Damn it. I should have researched instead of fiddling with my laptop over here trying to make it work. I see my camera's working real well there, huh? Oh, man. Oh, Sam Wu, I can't hear anything you're saying right now. I wish I could.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, something.
There we go. Yeah, yo, we are on pro.
Was there
we are pro
the entire time?
I think so.
Oh my goodness!
And I was talking.
Yeah, no, you were. No, I can hear you. Yeah. Whoops.
Okay, good.
AC Combs writes muted. Oh yeah. Here, let me do my. I'm not muting right now, but I'll
You're not muted.
Yeah, I'm not muted right now, but I can. See, I'm playing with the camera for those.
Mimes on podcast. That's we're going for big time now. I tell you.
Yeah, but it's just one of those podcasts. Look what we're doing right now. Maybe the New Jersey Devils can take some notes. We're gutting it out. We're still fighting. I mean, a lot of things went wrong. I mean, my computer monitor before 10 minutes before the podcast, and I'm texting you. Yeah, somehow it just stopped working. Stop working, and then all of a sudden I'm getting all these error messages I've never seen before on my Mac, and I'm like, how can I produce a podcast when this stuff happens 10 minutes prior? But you gut it out. And Najardine's been talking about the fight,
Yes.
and you know what?
Yes.
If there's one thing that I want Devils ownership and management and the scouting. I want them to draft, and I want them to set an example that you fight to the end, to the last breath. You figure it out. And Nico and Kyle Palmieri, and let's not forget about Mackenzie Blackwood. Before that loss against the Capitals, he was on fire. And you know what? I didn't think he played a bad game against the Capitals. I mean, they are the Capitals right now. So, and then rightfully so, give him the day off. Jill steps in, NHL debut, another big goaltender. Again, it takes, you never know. This guy could be a diamond in the rough, and he could be backing up Mac Black, or he could be starting one day. You just don't know what you have but you got to let the guys play and figure it out. And again, on paper, they're very talented. But you know what? I want to see more out of Wayne Simmons. I want to see more grit. That grit. Now, remember back in the day when Russian players and European players, and we're talking about 90s, when they started to evolve and started to be household names in the NHL. Do you remember those days? Because the NHL back then used to be all pounding. You beat the crap out of each other. And then the 1980s team came in, and it was like slowly but surely USA hockey program, everything started to progress, and then it became the best of both worlds. You got the North American game combined with the Jagers of the world, of the European game and the Russian game combined. And one of the things I remember, I don't know if it was Sweden or Finland or those countries up there, or even Norway. I'll just add Scandinavian countries. They used to send players to North America not to learn skill, but to learn grit, to get dirty, because that game is more of an east-west instead of a north-south game. Right now, we are so lucky as NHL fans that we get the best of both worlds. And yes, the NHL cut down the fighting, but you know what? In the end, when you hear the stories of Probert and Derek Boogaard and Rick, is it Rick Rippon? I forgot his name, because I know there's Mark Rippon, but that was his cousin.
Mark Rippon is football, yeah.
Yeah, but I forgot. I think it was Rick Rippon. And them costing their lives and concussions, and now we learned that, you know what, players are bigger and stronger right now, but the head never got any stronger. It's not going to, because if you believe in evolution, it's going to take a while for the head to get stronger. But till then, the game has to be safer. That's just the bottom line. And I hate hearing those stories of even Mike Peluso, for that matter, all the headaches and all that kind of stuff. But we're seeing a great transgression of the game right now, and I think the Devils have a lot of that skill. But we need Wayne Simmons, and we need that grit, that firepower. That even when they're having a bad game, it's easy to have a great game when you're feeling good and you're confident, but getting the timely goals when you're slumping and trying to break out of it and trying to figure out, that's when this team is going to get together. Because I'm seeing a lot of good things right now, but in order for it to come around, and this is where Bryce Salvador came back with the mindset and the confidence, that's going to come around when they try to figure it out. Because it's easy for us as fans, the armchair GM, to figure it out, on paper. And even with the analytics, you look at the numbers, it's easy to figure it out. It's like fantasy hockey. But in real life, it's not fantasy hockey. It's team chemistry. It's attitude. It's grit. It's determination. It's strategy. But it goes beyond that. Some of these guys, if you remember all those playoff runs that the Devils had, Scotty, a lot of it was just sheer will, who wanted it more. And I think that's what needs to happen if this team is going to get back on track. Maybe the season's lost. We don't know yet. It's too early to tell, although the odds are on paper that they're done. But I'm pretty sure
the season's lost. I'm pretty sure it's but it's going to be, like I said, I think it'll be exciting to see some of these young players come up and play, because they are going to have a lot of, grit and determination, because they're playing for their careers. This is their shot at the NHL. A lot of borderline guys where, maybe we find a little, diamond in the rough there, who can work maybe a year or two for us, like Stefan Nason. People were big fans of the old Bo Bennett when he was around. Maybe we find another one of those guys that can, work as a little stopgap for a while in these next couple months, and we get to see some of these, draft picks from the last 4 or 5 years that have been down in the AHL. We get to see what they're made of. You want a shot, this is going to be your time. So let's see what you got.
Maybe this team was built too much on paper, because I was surprised they didn't really go after Brian Boyle. Character guys that are big, guys that were guys that, when you're building a team, Scotty, and I always believe this. There's always everyone has the obvious philosophy, you build from the goalie out, per se, but it's what Lou Lamoriello told Ken Danico when Danico wanted power play time. And Ken Danico, I love him, but you didn't want him on the power play. He said, Lou Lamoriello told Ken Danico, settle down. It's a team is like an orchestra. You've got different instruments. On the power play, are you going to be playing like the violin and threading the needle? What are you? You're a drummer. The team goes to the beat of your drum. And you should know this, Scotty. The drummer sets the tempo, right? And that's
I know.
Danico. And that's what
I controlled everything in the band.
Oh, yeah? While Scotty was moonlighting as a comedian at the Laugh Factory?
Yeah. While Beer Baron was a comedian at the Laugh Factory, an actor, a graphic designer, designing cartoons, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Hey, I did a little adjustment to your camera, and it seems to be working right now. So
I think I need to get a new one, an upgrade for the old holidays. I think that's what's going to happen. If you want, I could send you one from our primetime radio warehouse. Oh, I'm gonna get my own. I was looking at like, God damn, those those GoPros, those are freaking expensive. I didn't realize how much they. I was like, oh yeah, just get a GoPro, and then looked at it. I was like, nah, maybe not. Maybe I'll get some a little cheaper first off.
Well, I use an iPad actually. Not. Hey, this is the Let's Go to Hills podcast Geek Talk. That now
Geek Talk.
This is what happens when you talk about rock bottom, right? This podcast.
Well, that's what happens when your laptop, craps out on you at the last minute. I apologize to everyone too. I wanted to do some Devil's Trivia with everybody for the holidays. I have some gifts that I could give away here. I got some. I got an extra one of those. Oh, look at you.
This is just so because Nick Villano thinks I cheat on the State of the Fan address. So now I have to hold my hands up that I'm not Googling the answers, like that. But I just want to show the listeners, through my iPhone that this is what Scotty was sending me in the group text. This is what happened during that time. But
it loaded all the way up, and then it just stopped, and then it crashed. And I was like, "Oh, good. That looks wonderful. Oh, awesome."
Yeah, but you know what? We're improving right now. You see what we're doing, and this is a prime example. We're gutting it out. We're figuring out.
Gutting it out.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
We could easily cancel this podcast tonight because Beer Baron, he's on hiatus at the family bar,
right.
Hanukkah celebration.
Family. Yeah. Ooh.
And Shorts guy is coaching hockey right now, and it was just you and I. And
that's actually legitimate.
Yeah, but I'm also kissing your butt right now, because I want to be on.
You are?
Sirius X. I want to be on.
Oh, right.
With Metal XL. I've been trying to practice on my condenser mic for the podcast. The not so much the NPR voice, like. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast. Not that, but like that low WNEW voice. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast from Newark, New Jersey.
You got to do like New Age Outlaws, like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the New Jersey Devils and Let's Go Devils podcast are proud to bring to you its two-time heavyweight champion of the world.
That's pretty good. Oh, or I could do, or just to annoy David Decker's significant others, I should be like, "Happy Sunday, Sunday, Sunday."
That's a good one as well.
Yeah. We'll have to work on our fake radio voices for the podcast. Also, I'll send those fake radio voices demos to you. But I don't think I have a fat chance to get on there. But you know what? It's kind of cool because sometimes when I have the when they do the free thing with Sirius, I'm like, I'm going to Liquid Metal. What time is Scotty going to be on? And then I got the West Coast times and the East Coast times messed up. And then I'm texting you during while you're on there, and I'm like, wait a second, is it pre-recorded? Is it live? It's usually pretty live, right?
Well, I do a little bit of both, actually. Okay. So it depends on what day, what else I'm scheduled with. If I'm in some other sessions, sometimes I got to make do. Shh. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. Now, are you going to be on the Festivus podcast tomorrow night?
That's what I'm aiming for. I would love to be on the Festivus podcast, and I do like I have all my like trivia questions here all written out and everything. I want to do at some point when it's one of those deals where maybe where Beer Baron and Shorts Guy aren't on again, we could do some trivia. I got a nice one of those Marty Brodeur 552 posters that I can maybe give away. I got a Metallica Back to the Front limited edition box set thing I can give. I got a bunch of just, giveaway cool stuff like that. And we'll do maybe like, we'll do like 3 rounds of trivia, easy, medium, hard, and you got to run the gauntlet. And I just want to give back to the Let's Go Devils podcast family out there who listen every week and, are always responding on Facebook and giving us their thoughts, their ideas, and their love.
Casey Combs, right? Hit us with a question. Let's just do one. Let's test it out since we've hit rock.
You want to do? You want to do one? Okay. We want to do. We want to do an easy. Well, this is a. Well, this will be an easy one. So, okay.
Now, just remember, we're on a delay.
Okay.
8-second delay, so it may not filter.
All right. So this would
live and all that, but. Let's go for
so
it.
this is how we would do it. We have to get someone on the phone. For now, we'll just do a little fun, but we'd have to get someone on the phone. They got to answer 3 easy questions, 2 medium questions, and then 1 really hard one. And that's how you win. All right. So this would be the level of an easy question, the beginner stage. Okay. Let's say in the history of the New Jersey Devils, there's been many famous lines. All hockey teams have them, but we've had quite a few. The A line, ZZ Pops. I can even remember the old what was it? The Sizzle line. You remember that? Alexander Semak, Valeri Zelepukin, and Claude Lemieux. The Sizzle line from back in the day. But probably the most famous line from the 90s was the Crash line. Name me the 3 New Jersey Devils who are part of the Crash line. See, now is when we would be making fun of people and talking crap about them and, having fun like that.
Hey, I fixed my board. I did a software update. Remember how I lost my board for almost 3 months? I couldn't play Where the Beef and all that. It's back.
Mm-hmm.
It's just magically back.
Nice.
It's back. So now I can play all sorts of obnoxious stuff.
Something's going wrong with all the Macs tonight. So I see that some people are answering the questions over there, and that is correct. Randy McKay, Mike Peluso, Bobby Holeek. See, that would be kind of a level 1 type of question. You have to get 3 of those right, and 2 medium, and then 1, really difficult question like that.
Right,
and if you get them wrong,
let's go to medium. We gotta, since we hit rock bottom, we gotta at least.
You want to give a medium? All right, and here's the thing: is you have to have someone on the phone because I don't want people there dialing on their phone or having someone whispering in their ear, like typing up and looking for the answers and everything like that. But this would be, I'd give you here's a medium question.
Okay.
In the history of the New Jersey Hockey Devils, who has in one season the most assists?
Oh, okay. Was I supposed to play the music?
You can play the music if you want. Who has the most assists in one season for the entire history of the New Jersey Hockey Devils?
And then I'll be the caller. I'll be the caller. I'll be like, I wish I knew. Patrick Elias.
Very. That's a good guess. Elias is actually tied for 4th, but it would be none other than the captain, the man who is this side is drinking out of that Stanley Cup right there behind me, Mr. Scott Stevens. In 1993-94, he had 60 assists in one season.
Wow. And you know what? I still think he got hosed by Brian Leach for that Norris trophy. And I believe Scott Stevens is the best defenseman of all time, never to win.
To never win.
Yeah,
they should name a trophy after him, like in a few years. They really should, because he deserved that Norris trophy a couple times. He was just so dominant, and I don't know. I think he got robbed. Not only just because I'm a Devils fan, just he was a force on that ice like none other.
Well, I mean, when you're playing in an era of Ray Bourque, Al McGinnis, Paul Coffey,
that guy across the river, Brian Leach.
Yeah.
He had a lot of points. I think it wasn't it? They were saying it on the game the other night. He was the last defenseman to score over 100 points in a season. So,
wow,
yeah,
and also
that's unheard of nowadays. Think about that. Taylor Hall, in his MVP year, had what 90? I think he had 93 points. Mm-hmm. Brian Leach, a defenseman, had 102 in one season. Like that's just mind-boggling.
Guess which sound is back? In case they get it wrong, or if they get it right, it's all
look
back.
at that. See, we can have a lot of fun with this.
Oh yeah, and plus I even got the organ.
Nice. Rangers suck.
And then the Flyers swallow. Avery still pays for it. Cosby watches. But that's as far as I've heard it. It's gone 4 deep now. 4 deep. It's just like it was just like Avery still pays for it, and then some kid and Crosby watches. Oh my goodness, it's just hilarious. But hey, we'll save that for the Let's Go Devils podcast XL paid edition.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Scotty, I know that,
but we will do this. We will do this trivia though, sometime though, in the real near future. And if you're listening out there, Let's Go Devil podcast, we will put up the phone number so you can actually call in. You have to call in, and I swear, if I hear someone whispered in your ear, automatically disqualified, game misconduct. Boom.
I know.
Done.
Yep. You can't fool us on the Let's Go Devils podcast. You just can't.
Yeah, no typing. If I hear those little fingers typing on the keyboard in the background, no. Game misconduct, disqualified from trivia.
Or if organist Pete Canarosi is on and he's got his keyboard on the phone and you call in, we can play that Name That Tune with Pete.
Dude, let's get Pete on, and he could just play like the Jeopardy type of music, like in between, like after we ask a question. We can have like the organ come on and play. That's what's up.
Oh yeah. You know what? We're gonna go all out with this Let's Go Devils podcast. I'll even put an iPad in there live from Pete's studio somewhere in beautiful New Jersey. I don't want to tell people where he lives. He lives in New Jersey somewhere, and then Pete's just ready to just. And you should do this. You should do this because, hey, he's a music guy. You're a music guy. Beer Baron's a comedian. It's great.
Hey, Beer Baron was he was the singer in the band. Don't forget about that.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day about Beer Baron. Yeah. Just amazing.
He's just full. He's a man of mystery. You're just waiting to unravel.
Yeah, and you know what's cool about Beer Baron? I love when we set up. He's always like super early when we set up for the podcast, so get the feeds right and all that. And it's great because behind the scenes, he's got like 2 little daughters like right there, and they're talking on the mic and like, hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This and that, and I've recorded it at times. Obviously, we'll never. Put it public because they're his kids, but it's just one day when they're 18 and they have their high school graduation party, I'm gonna cut it up for Nikki and Scott, and play the transgression over the years, how big they've gotten, and what they used to do before Beer Baron would go on. We would go on air. It would be funny because a lot of it's archived. This and that, maybe for a family party or something like that. Anyway, sorry, Scotty, but we're past the top of the hour, and I know you came in late. But is there any more things you want to get off your chest before we get everything off our chest tomorrow for the Festivus podcast?
No, I'll save it all for the Festivus tomorrow. Just apologies again to everybody out there for all the technical difficulties. And like I said, we will do some trivia in the near future. And just, again, excited to see some of these young Devils start taking these leadership roles and hopefully see them run with it. I've liked what I've seen this past week from Nico Hischier. I've always liked what I've seen from Kyle Palmieri. I want to see more, and I hope I see more in the upcoming games this week.
Awesome. And we'll be back at 9 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for our second annual Festivus podcast. And Beer Baron is going to be on as well, so hopefully you can get on. We'll talk off air about that tomorrow, Scotty. But let's see here. Since I have my board ready, do I? So I've done things differently since I lost the board, but I think, is this going to work? No. This doesn't work. Jeez. This sucks.
Live programming, kids. Yeah. That's how we do it.
Yeah, this is how we do it, folks. Yep. We try to act like professionals. We try to be like Erica Wachter and Bryce Salvador, professionals, but really we're just a bunch of dopes doing a Let's Go Devils podcast.
I hear the music.
For those people out there, before we go, when you go on Google, type in Best New Jersey Devils Podcast, and why don't you type who shows up all the way to the top, or even New Jersey Devils Podcast, I believe. Because this guy liked what he saw, and that guy over there, Scotty, liked what he saw. You saw the screenshots, right? I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Number one, baby. Number one.
That's
approaching
right.
50,000 downloads and 300,000 views. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern for the second annual Festivus podcast. Until next time, Devils fans, from Scotty and myself, Sam Wu. Until next time, let's go Devils.